Hello, my name is Robert Hutchins, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about why I think I should be your next school board president. So, I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself first. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born in 1899 to my father, William James Hutchins. Shortly after that, we moved to a small town called Oberlin, Ohio, my father and my two brothers and myself. And then at age 18, I joined the ambulance service of the United States Army to serve my country. From there, I attended Yale University, where I received a bachelor's degree, and I really liked Yale a lot, so I decided to stay and get my law degree from Yale as well, where I finished in 1921 at the top of my class. Like I said, I really liked Yale. I really liked the environment there, so I decided to stay and work there for a few years, and eventually working my way up to being the dean of the law school in 1927. And 2 years later, in 1929, I was offered the position of president at the University of Chicago. So I moved to Chicago to become the president at the University of Chicago. And at that time, I was the youngest president in the country at age 30, which was a pretty cool experience to have. Um, One of the first things I implemented at the University of Chicago was the 2 year degree. I felt like the last 2 years of high school and the first years of college were very similar. So this 2 year degree was put in place to allow students who were not yet finished with high school to come get a more liberal degree. This was all based under one dean, one school. And then if students then wanted to progress later to a more specific degree, they could get a master's degree. But this was just a very general, like I said, liberal arts approach type of degree. Once the students were complete with all the coursework, we then tested them with a comprehensive exam, and that's how they got their degree. It was not based on credits, it was based on the comprehensive exam. Throughout this degree, a lot of it was influenced by the great books, so works of some of the most prominent people in history, such as Socrates, Aristotle, selections from the Bible, things like that. And that was all open discussion. We really were heavy on open discussion. I'm not really a big fan of lecturing. I'm really a big fan of the open discussion in the classroom. And with that, I wanted the professors to have the academic freedom to teach their classes how they wanted, especially with the heavy influence of of open discussion in the classroom. And then finally, educational perennialism. That was a really big important thing to me as well. While I was at the university, this meant that I thought in our classes we should teach things that are everlasting to people. I really wanted emphasis on principles and not necessarily facts. I wanted to teach people about being good people and not how to do things one certain way. I just wanted to inspire everyone a little bit by a quote from myself. The object of the educational system, taken as a whole, is not to produce hands for industry or to teach the young how to make a living. It is to produce responsible citizens. So again, to reiterate, I want to make people good people. I want to learn from who we are as people. I don't want to teach people in college, how to build this or how to do this job. I want to teach people how to be good people. And then on top of that, maybe sprinkle in a little bit of okay, now here's how you would do this job. After the University of Chicago, I went on to head the Ford Foundation, which was founded by Henry Ford himself and his wife. We had a lot of funding there, which we were very fortunate to have. So I funded some things like the advancement of education and Fund for Adult Education. This was to give sponsorship to projects like nationwide teacher training, college early entrance programs, and to fund education for adults in a liberal arts approach type of form. Education is very important to me. People learning in a very general way, getting a very diverse education. So I use this position to fund these types of programs. I also opened a center, and this center was called the Center for Study of Democratic Institutions. And the goal of that center was to examine democratic institutions by taking a multidisciplinary look at the state of the democratic works. So these were just two of the things I did after I left the University of Chicago. So why would you choose me? Because I'm for education. Like I said, I'm about people learning from people, not just from learning from the book and learning from how to do one certain thing. I want people to learn from each other and to help them grow as people. I'm really big on a liberal arts education. All of you are big with this school, and it's a liberal arts school. So I think you're fans of liberal arts education too. I would assume if you support, St. Vincent College, um, and I think that's really important when it comes to the education of our students. And then finally, academic freedom. I believe that the choice of professors and teachers to be able to teach how they want in the style that they want or what's best for their students is going to go a long way rather than them teaching just one certain way. And I think this is very important. I think this is something that needs to be brought to this school district. And I want there to be that flexibility because not every student learns the same. And that's why I think this academic freedom is so important and so valuable as a part of my campaign. Who not to choose? First, John Dewey. Pragmatism is just really boring, I'm sorry. Testing concepts through scientific experiments. I mean, yes, I support the sciences, but not for that to be the only way of learning. Sorry. Next, William Alexander. Okay, like I get, the whole meeting the needs and interests of our young adolescents, but you really thought it would be a good idea to put all of those middle school aged kids in one building and isolate them? That's a big yikes. Helen Parkhurst, I'm not too sure about your individualized learning. I think it would be better to have students learning from each other too. I mean, that's just me, but maybe you should go back to Italy and learn some more from Maria Montessori. Speaking of Maria, more science. Again, I'm a big fan of the liberal arts, but education should not be transformed by science. And then finally, William Wirt. All I have to say is really longer school days. No, not a fan. Finally, Hutch has the magic touch. Guys, when you vote for school board president, vote for me. Again, I stand for education. I stand for that academic freedom. And I stand for the liberal arts education. You want your students to be well-rounded, don't you? You want that well-rounded education for your kids? Well, then vote for me, and that's what you'll have. Thank you.